This video will provide graduate students an overview in using Primo, the library's catalog. First, to access Primo, go to the library's homepage. If you're not here, go to any UNCP page, click on Quick Links, select Library, and you'll be brought here. Now, to access Primo, you can click on the banner that is in the center of the screen. You click here and you're going into our catalog. Primo, I like to say, is like Google. Primo, in other words, contains all the resources the library owns. This is or has access to. This is both videos. You can look for video titles for most of these items. You can also look for books and articles. Typically for graduate students, I suggest you may want to use the databases to look for scholarly peer-reviewed articles, but you can look for them in Primo. If you're an off-campus student, if you're an online student, or a graduate student who does not come to campus, one of the first things I would do when I come into Primo would be sign in. And you sign in by clicking Sign In up here in the corner. And notice I've already signed in. It recognizes me today. Usually that sign is the same sign in you'll see for any UNCP page. It will ask for your Canvas username and password. Actually, I did not sign out after I had done another search, so that's why it recognized me. So you would want to do that. Now, the Primo search, this is the simple search bar. One of the things about it, you can search here, or you can do an advanced search by clicking here. The only difference is you get more lines when you're doing the advanced search, and also you have various ways that you can look for the article. If I go back to my simple search, the basic search, if I do a search here, typically when I use my Boolean operators, the words and, or not, you have to capitalize the whole word. If you do not capitalize it, it will look for that word as a phrase. So if I'm looking for, let me do a search, library instruction, and you also have to type it correctly, and graduate students, and then I can do a search. Notice I have 385,000 items. If I am only, and notice they will tell you whether they're books or an article. Sometimes we'll have books available both online and in print. If you need anything that's only available online, you notice I have under availability, that is one of my options. And I can click any of the boxes here to select those. I can also select peer-reviewed journals. This will locate items in peer-reviewed journals. Also book chapters, other resource types below. And if I'm just looking for items for books, I can click on books, click on apply filters, and that will bring up books. Notice I'm down to 1,488. Now, if you're an online graduate student or you do not come to campus and you see a book you need that we have available, what you can do is when you have that title, click on the title. It'll go into that book's record. If you want to request it, you can click on request, select your pickup location, which would be home address, and we'll actually have, because of your records are preloaded into the system, we will have your home address. And then you can set a date and submit this, and we will get the request, process it, and mail that book to your home, to the address in the system. The key part with that is you will be responsible for returning the book. You will have to mail it back yourself. We will pay to have it mailed to you, but there will be no return postage. You must handle the return postage. Also, remember when you're requesting books, typically they go book rate, and book rate is one of the slower forms of mail. If I would request this 2 to 3 weeks before you need the book, otherwise you may want to look for it elsewhere. But that is how you request books that we own. If you want to request or look for items that are only available online, remember my filter here is books. I click available online. It knocked out 8 books from my last list. It will still have some of them that are both places. And to look at one of those books, simply click on available online. It will tell you the various databases that this item is available in, and then you would click on that link to request the book or to view the book. And in the ebook items, different ebook platforms will look differently, so let me warn you about that. We get ebooks from several different people, but that is one way you can get that book. You can also get yourself a permanent link to this record. You can email it to yourself, and one of the great things is you can get yourself a citation. Now, again, you can copy this citation to a clipboard, but I can tell you that I think the capitalization in this book title is incorrect. Also, it just has it doesn't have the initials for the author. So anytime you do a citation from a database or even from Primo, verify it that it is correct. Now, pardon me, and you see some of the citation styles listed. Notice it will have the author's full name here, but if I go back to APA 6th, no initials. So that is incorrect. So be aware of that when you're requesting books. Now I'm going to close this record. Now, if I want to just look for articles, and you may have heard me say earlier that when I do my research, if I know I'm looking for articles, I go into specific databases. Because as you see now, I have 385,000. And if I'm just looking for peer-reviewed items in peer-reviewed journals, I can select here, peer-reviewed journals under availability, click apply filters, and I'm down to 130,000. And because you signed in, if I click here available online, it will tell me the database that it is in. This is the database company. And I can simply click here and it should take me into the article. Here's my article. Well, no, here's the record. So apparently this, even though it said available online, it is not. So that's when I would contact me, because theoretically, if it says available online, we should have it. So I don't know what's going on with this record. You see the full text options here. Click check SFX for availability. That system's no longer valid here. If you click on request from another library, this will go into interlibrary loan. And then you can just log in or register first time, and it will complete that request for you. Actually, what I would do first is contact me because I would need to clean up this record. And while I'm here, I'm going to email this record to myself just so I can get that done to clear up the problem. And this is how you would request items. And usually everything comes in from this database, your ProQuest Research. Check access. And you can do that to me if you have an article like this. But if you do that, put your email address in here, because I will know who to send it to if I find it. Click on continue, sent, closed. So I'm not sure why this will happen to you occasionally. So you can do that. That's a little bit about books, about looking for books and looking for articles in Primo. If you have any questions, you can go to the library's homepage, click on Ask a Librarian, and send us an email or call us, because this is the information for the reference desk. You can even chat with us if we're online, or shoot an email. You can also click Contact Us. This is me. Here's my email address. Shoot me an email. Robert, I'm trying to access this article and I'm having issues. Can you check it out for me? Can you see what the issue is? I can do that. If I find access to that article, I will send it to you. If I cannot access it, I will send you back a link and with the steps to request it via interlibrary loan. So this covers how you would do a search in Primo, and also you got the extra added benefit of when things go wrong in Primo. Graduate students, not all your searches in graduate school will be successful. You will have issues like this because this article is available too, and I've been in this journal. Is it going back to the same database? Here's my article. So then I could just email it and send the PDF to myself. So if you have any questions about searching Primo, I gave you my contact information, the contact information from the library. Please contact us. Thank you and have a good day.